fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but a Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They call me by the Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I find no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a dilute. I order blood on my tongue. Thinking this is warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. Just throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the Riri. A versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink, they gon' pull up, but drink a knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, call me brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I pour all the plaques, you use Decepticons. Fake rappers to the streets like Cobra. 80s they get floating like up in the storage and I'm E-Man. Up, down, down, then I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beat in. Ninja Turtle rap, Turtle Clans get defeated. Hop in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can't stop us. LL bad when I go and show up. You can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What's up? I could take this off my head now. What's up? What is going on, everyone? It's your man Dre Mac. Coming to you again with it. Let me just take this off. Let that forehead breathe. Let that bunny tail breathe. What's up? This is another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast right now, get on up because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And on today, we're doing Am I a YouTube Grifter Part 7. This time, this is the peak because I didn't realize I didn't change it, but it's the Ironheart peak despite the hate. But we got to go holler at our partners at Nerdrotic. Yeah, we gotta go make a trip to Nerdrotic. We got a few trips. We got a bunch of trips we gotta make on our favorite rocket ship. You know what I mean? Because it's a whole lot going on. And we gotta talk about it. We have to talk about it, but hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gan over at the Heavy Gan channel. But you already know if you've been here before. The real question is, are
Say why you hating on my energy. Say why you hating on my energy. I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
Right, all right. All right, let's see who was all in the house right now. Marley Marv, what's up? Good morning. My BM, what's up? Good morning. And happy birthday to my daughter, to our daughter. You know what I'm saying? She is now a teenager. So happy birthday to my baby, Keeks. Roberta, the church auntie. Good morning. Stash. Seven of these joints. And it's probably gonna be more. We're probably looking at maybe a 50-part miniseries. Wavy Things, what's up? Good morning. Robbie D is up in here, the admin. Make sure y'all already know to like, share, and subscribe. So there's no platform. Hey, the Roberta's a church auntie. Y'all better watch it. She take off that shoe and come get you. You know what I mean? But so we got two parts. And shout out to Mika Meek, before for Mika Meek for sending me this neurotic piece, and shout out to Toria Ray Reloaded for the high CHD portion of this. But I'm going to, this is not Birdman. I'm going to be actually giving a reaction to all of this mess. Hold on. Just a second. I have some people in their feelings in some of my videos. All right, so before I go, hold on, because I want to make sure that I pull, because I just had a brand new bookmark. I bookmarked something that somebody sent me, and this needs to, before I even go any further, let me first do this. Let me shout out. What's up, Jugan Network? Let me first do this. Before we go any further, let me shout out to all of the crew members. I lied. I said I was going to have this done last night, and my black behind was at work. So let me shout out to all my crew members. And then, we're going to get some things going forward. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching, and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. So anytime, and shout out to everybody that's in the crew. If you do want to be a part of the crew, all you got to do is hit the join button and you can be a part of the crew for only $2.99 a month. It helps out the channel tremendously. Just, I believe yesterday, Roberta gave away like 5 new memberships. So shout out to all the people who grabbed the membership yesterday. But shout out to them. Jigga Network, good morning. Six of Truth, good morning. Kevin H, why give time to people that we know that do not like us? Well, in the kind words of Kendrick, sometimes you got to pop out and show, because what's crazy, and I'm gonna answer your question in this in this tone. you have some people that look like me that like that rhetoric. They like the rage bait. They like the rhetoric, all of that, knowing damn well that they don't like them. They know those people don't like them. They don't care for them at all. But yet they taste the biscuit. They can't wait to get that biscuit, put that honey sauce on it, and devour it, eat up all that rhetoric, and then repeat the rhetoric like you just didn't hear them say it. It's cult-like. It is very cult-like. And so people, I witnessed it myself. I witnessed it myself. The same people who will try to ride with you on one thing will be out there grifting in that zone just because that's the thing to do. Rage baiting and all of that. And I would just say this, especially on YouTube, the whole how can I say this? The angry white male that came on the YouTube scene started with the angry video game nerd. Just being honest. The angry video game nerd, which the angry video game nerd did that as a way to say all these games suck. Then you have the nostalgia critic doing the same stick. But he's been around so long that both of them, came here. What? Hold up. Wait a minute. Because I gotta. What is this? Boy, I rode for you. I defended it on my little channel, and the mayonnaise committee was at my throat. Hey. Don't know. Hey, look. But so let's just get into this. So the angry video game comes out. The angry video game nerds comes out. He does his stick. Everybody tried to copy that stick. And when you don't have the production, you don't have the means, you don't even have actually the ambition and the understanding of what angry video game nerd was doing, it failed. So that whole rage bait stick has been around for a long time. Nostalgia Critic did it, but then he started doing production and more videos and all of that. So the production game, got better. So he didn't have to rage bait on something he didn't like or deem he didn't like, to grow his channel. And those guys grew their channel. They networked with other people, but they were never hateful in their rhetoric. I don't know why I still got on these. They were never hateful in their rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? They can actually review it and say, this is why it sucks. This is reason why I've been rocking with the angry video game nerd and even the nostalgia critic for so many years, because those creators knew how not to grift and be hateful, to be critical in a way where it's funny, it's comedic, it's entertaining, and it's not mean-spirited. What we're seeing now is the mean-spirited groups with the neurotics, with the critical drinkers, you know what I'm saying? All of these, and then you have the butter biscuit grifters, you know what I mean? Like Tyrone Magnus, who is getting destroyed. Oh my God, he's getting destroyed out there for his grifting, right? So you have that, right? But what made it even worse, and because it's always been there. I've been on Twitter long enough where the racism has always been that way. It's always been that way, right? But when I would just say, even especially when as long as I've been on Twitter, when Barack Obama became president, it looked like it got worse during the murders of there's been so many. Austin Sterling and Sandra Bland and Philando Castile, all the people who were killed. It seemed like online the discord got worse, especially during the rise of Black Lives Matter. And then let's take it up a notch. Trump gets into office, right? And now you got the Tiki Torch. You know, they're going to replace us. Got even worse. I'm like, who's going to replace you? You know what I mean? So the Discord became worse. And then, because I got to transition, before I transition, because you know you're gonna get this education today. Let me just take a pause for the calls real quick to butter these biscuits.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Now you can own one of the greatest gospel albums ever on the rough side, with only giant hits and legendary stars.
Biscuit. I know the truth about it. I love. Oh, how I love this biscuit. Oh, how I love this biscuit. It is the best biscuit. I know.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right, so let's keep this thing going. So you have, you know, this Discord out there in the zeitgeist, but it did not make it any better, especially for Disney. I mean, for the people that are fan of Marvel and Disney movies, for a shareholder, right, to be saying the same anti-woke bull crap, this old wokey woke bull crap. Woke bull crap. Right? So Nelson Peltz criticized Disney's woke film strategy with Black Panther and Marvels. Now, I've been looking for this for a long time. You know what I mean? God dang it. I've been looking for this for a long time, right? Because for some reason, you couldn't find this, right? You couldn't find this. But since, you know, Fox News and all of that, like everything, colonize our words, colonize woke, you know what I mean? And made it for blacks and women, because Black Panther and Marvels has what? One has women, but one has a diverse side of women. It had, you got a Middle Eastern woman? Woke. You got a black woman? Woke. White woman? We can do that. You know, that's not a problem. You know what I mean? But Black Panther always wokey woke. And this has always been my thing, right? Before I get to the ridiculousness, and then I'm gonna get to the reaction of High CH, you know, the ridiculousness of this is that if you look at every single MCU movie, right? Every MCU movie or project, there's literally a handful of black shows for one. Only a handful, right? And the ones that's leading with women that is actual lead is actually just as small. So we're a minority. Why they say, oh my God, it's going woke? You can literally pull up every white male lead movie over the course of Marvel's history, and you're talking about 2 Black Panther movies and it's woke. All right, let me reread this so you can remember. I can put this in the zeitgeist, because this is why the critical drinkers, this is why the neurotics, this is why that big tub of lard, you know what I'm saying, Hills versus baby faces, all of these, you know, grifters, this is the reason why they do this. Because if Disney says it gotta be true, right? Right? Let's listen to this. Disney stood by a strategy to urge shareholders not to vote for Peltz as the board proxy fights heats up. Let me take you back down memory lane. Let me just put this back here. So as the Disney broad proxy fights nears its deciding day, activist investors. This is somebody that's putting money in the pocketbooks of Disney Marvel, right? Is taking aim at what he calls the company's woke film strategy, particularly when it pertains to Black Panther and the Marvels. Let me read that again for y'all to know. This is somebody who's on the board as an investor. Think about it like this. If Nelson Peltz thinks this way and he is actively putting money in the pocketbooks of Disney Marvel, who else thinks like this? That's a part of the board of directors that probably just doesn't say anything. Think about it. Think about it, people. This is the education portion that I'm going to do today. Everything I'm going to do is to educate the reason why I said MTR. Look, the whole woke thing, stop it. Because people like this use that language and try to aim it at us. Because let's think about it. Black Panther featured a black male lead, right? That even Marvel Disney did not have any hope in or whatever, and we shattered the mold. They didn't think a black male led movie would make money, and it made money, a lot of money. Even if you go to Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which now the black male lead passes on, they insert a black female lead. Now it's really woke now because, oh my God, it's a black female lead, right? Still make money. No matter what I feel about that movie, it still make money. $800 and something million, right? The numbers that I want Superman to make, because I need competition, right? I need James Gunn to be able to look at Warner Brothers and say, hey, all this, hey, look, I don't care how much I'm tweeting. Don't go out there and say, if I make a Mr. Terrific movie or a show, that it better not be called woke. Or if I decide to do the Themyscira and do a whole show about the Wonder Woman tribes and all that, you better not call it woke, because this is what Disney has done. You know what I mean? And you've seen exactly what these people think. You see it. You see why in certain instances nobody believes in the project, because they won't push the product like it should. Some of them won't even go to bat and say, hey, you know what? If you don't like this show because this lady is black, this is a black woman, that's a genius, you know what I mean? There's something that's goddamn wrong with you. Sorry for the language, Roberta, but I'm getting in my bag. Something that's goddamn wrong with you if you can't see a black woman in that particular type of position, because there's been plenty of black women in that position before, and Disney takes a stand on that. But has Disney done that? No. That's why some of us have problems with Disney and don't want to defend the foolishness. It is what it is. Me, I'm still going to defend my people, though. I don't care. I'm still going to defend my people. And if you part of the BBA, if you got that butter biscuit activity, I'm going at your neck too. You know what I mean? Because this is what they think. This is what they think about you. Let's keep reading. In a recent interview, remember this is 2024, with the Financial Times, Peltz questioned the leadership of Marvel chief Kevin Feige and the larger movie strategy under Disney CEO Bob Iger. Though he said he did not want either leader unseated, Peltz has outwardly campaigned to take the board seat of current members Michael B.G. Froman and Maria Elena Logaman. I ain't gonna pronounce that. He questions how long Feige should remain and what the strategy should be moving forward. So the board, he wants to be able to have control. This is, I'm going to say this is going to be sensitive, but this is what old white money does, right? Old white money says, I don't want that there. I don't want to get out of my shell. I don't want to get out of my racist thoughts. I don't want to get out of my racist thinking of how black people is. And I remember I made a video on my TikTok when the whole Brian Flores situation went out, and how people still think that black head coaches, black quarterbacks, you know what I mean, still can't be able to lead a team, even though we have prime examples of that with Tony Dungy and other coaches. Tony Dungy being the first African-American coach to win a Super Bowl. Lovie Smith playing him in the Super Bowl was the first time you ever had two black coaches in a Super Bowl. In the first Chiefs versus Eagles Super Bowl, you know, that's the first time you ever had two black quarterbacks, you know, that started a Super Bowl. So we've came a long way, and still the racist thinking of these people cannot get out their way. This is what I'm going to go to my next video next after this. I want to finish this because I want to be able to get you into the psyche of why I don't like woke and why we shouldn't be repeating this far-right racist rhetoric, because it's is completely, utterly rooted in racism. Let me keep going real quick. All right. He questions how long Feige should remain and what the strategy should be moving forward. People go to watch a movie or a show to be entertained, Pell said in an interview. They don't go to get a message. So now if it's black or it's a woman, it's a message. But if it's white, it's all right. Don't we have Captain America punching the Nazi, punching Hitler? And not only in, what's the Timely Comics? You know what I'm saying? Captain America #1, when they were Atlas. Like Atlas or Timely? Anyway, isn't that political? Isn't that a message? Didn't they make a whole movie recreating the punch? What about Iron Man? Did we not watch Iron Man? Was it Iron Man in the Middle East? Wasn't at that time in about 2008 we still had conflicts in the Middle East? Wasn't it 10 Rings Middle Eastern looking people that were trying to build weapons? Who was the big bad? Who was the big boogeyman in 2008? Y'all know who he is, but you know, that's not a message. So there's no message there. So what about Thor? What about Thor getting casted out because he was so arrogant? Isn't that a message about how arrogant we can be? You know, that we think we're godlike. You know, we think we're so godlike that we look at the little man and he's inferior to us. If we don't have the human capacity and empathy for the next man. I'm just trying to tell you, that sounds like a message to me. But it said, why do I have to why do I have to have a Marvel that's all women? Not that I have anything against women, but why do I have to do that? Which, again, if I'm not mistaken, don't we have comic books, femme fatales with all women? You are investing in a studio that produces comic book movies. I'm sorry, Mr. White Man, but there's black people, there's Asian people, there's trans people, there's gay people, there's all kinds of people inside of this comic book world that's inside of our natural human world. In Marvel, if Stan Lee heard this, I wonder what Stan Lee would say. Stan Lee will be utterly appalled at the kind of rhetoric and the kind of talking point. They will be appalled from that. You know why? Because in 1968, he was against all of that in Stan Lee's soapbox. When he talked about there's no place in this world for bigotry and hatred and all of that. Because technically there is none. We don't know. You know what's so crazy? Me as a black man, I have seen both sides of each coin in this world because I'm not naive and I'm not stupid. I've seen so much in my age. Torian says that I'm getting Ovaltine shots, and he maybe is right. Maybe I like my Ovaltine, drink at the end of the night when I'm getting ready to go nap. Maybe that is true. But I'm not naive enough to know that this world was built on what? Racism. And the bigotry of other people. But if we look at it deeply, we don't know what tomorrow might bring. So why should I hate someone because of the color of their skin? Why should I hate someone because of their sexual orientation? Me as a black man, I've seen so much crap Why do I need hatred in my heart for any of that? Why should I subject myself to the rage bait, anti-woke, whatever you call it, idiocracy for clicks and likes and money? When there's people that's my neighbors that don't look like me, that treat me just like I would treat them. Now, I've been around people that haven't. That's okay. That's the world we live in. As long as you don't come bringing that, if you don't bring me the smoke, you ain't got to worry about me lighting up. You good. But this is the reason why we don't have that much time on this planet. Why do I have to spend it hating on you? Let me finish this, and then I'm gonna get to this video with Nerdrotic. Check this out. He said, "Not that I have anything against women, but why do I have to do that? Why can't I have Marvels that are both? Why do I need an all-black cast?" He later said in an interview. Now, mind you, this is the key part. Why do I need an all-black cast? He later said. Now, he didn't say I don't have a problem with women, like he said here. Not that stop it. Not that I have. God, Lee, Hollywood Reporter. But he says, not that I have anything against women. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna stop that. That's pissing me off. And not anything against women, but why do I have to do that? Why can't I have the Marvels that are both? Why do I need an all-black cast? You know how racist that sounds? Now, mind you, this is a guy who's putting the money as an investor, an activist investor inside of Disney Marvel. You know what I mean? He later said in an interview, these comments recall similar anecdotes about former Marvel Entertainment chairman and CEO Ike Perlmutter, who is a friend of Peltz and a supporter of his proxy fight. So, Ike Perlmutter murder felt the same way that Peltz does. Felt the same way. Again, if they feel like this, who else does, that are not just dumb enough to say it inside of an interview? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about how this stuff goes to Grifter. Now, let me get to this, because I can prove to you. I can just pull up every single movie and show that came up and said, does it have a female or black lead or all black cast? This is the reason why. Why do you think Marvel just said, you know what, we're just going to ignore the hate. We're just going to ignore it. Damn it. Sometimes you got to stop ignoring stuff and show up and say enough is enough. Why do it baffles me that a lot of people say just ignore them, they'll go away. No, they don't, because the small minority gets loud. I could just show you one of Nerdrotic's videos, and it's going to have well over 1 million views. It's going to have all of this festered hatred, because this is what the grifters like to do. Why you think I clown CV Knight? Why do you think I clown? And I'm joking with these guys, but why do you think that? Why do you think RG3 and Tyrone Magnus is on Taste the Biscuits? And trust me, there's a lot of people out here that Taste the Biscuits that's my complexion, can't wait to shoe booty. They can't wait to buck dance. They can't wait to eat the biscuits in front of they zaddy. They can't wait. They be laughing and giggling and kikiing. They can't wait. They can't wait to eat the biscuits in front of they zaddy. They can't. All right. Check this out. In Iger's 2019 memoir, The Ride of a Lifetime, Iger said that he had received pushback on his idea to diversify the slate of Marvel movies and stop exclusively featuring characters who were white men. When presenting the idea, Iger wrote that one of the leaders of the Marvel team in New York, run by Perlmutter, told him female superheroes never drive big box office, but Iger decided to move forward. I called Ike and told him to tell his team to stop putting up roadblocks in order that we put both Black Panther and Captain Marvel into production, he wrote in this book. Disney continues to stand by the decision. In a letter to the shareholders Monday titled "Oh Nelson," the company specifically referenced the Marvel quotes as well as the statements in the article. What sense is being a billionaire if you're not a bully? Listen to this. What sense of being a billionaire if you're not a bully? If you got all this money, I can do what I want to. This is literally what I've heard we're getting ready to have in the Superman movie, where Lex Luthor is the billionaire bully in all of this. Right? What is the sense of being a billionaire if you're not a bully? We see that right now. With the, in our presidency, we've seen this in Congress. We've seen this, anywhere. What did they say? What did he say? In Rush Hour, follow the rich white man, because the rich white man always out here trying to get his cut. Instead of making money, they're like, nah, you're not gonna have all this black stuff. You're not gonna have all this women focused stuff, especially when you put diversity women in it. Nope. If you're not a billionaire, what's sense of being a billionaire if you're not a bully? Imagine the damage Peltz would do to Disney's boardroom with these perspectives, the letter reads. In addition to defending Feige, who Disney writes has an unparalleled track record at Marvel, which has gathered about $30 billion in global box office revenue, the entertainment conglomerate reiterated its view that Peltz does not understand the business and would not create shareholder value and bring no additive skills to the board. Peltz, including his silent partner Ike Perlmutter, would harm Disney and jeopardize our strategic transformation, the letter reads. Both sides have been campaigning and receiving shows of support in the lead up to April 3rd, yada, yada, yada. That's basically what I wanted to read. But again, however, Peltz Trian partners have received support from influential adversaries from Institutional Shareholder Services, ISS. That is crazy. Which is recommended that its clients vote to add Peltz to Disney's board of directors. The firm did not advise voting to add former Disney CFO Jay Rasulo to the board, which Peltz has also requested. These people want to keep the racist ideology in line because they feel like they're losing that white superiority with all of this woke stuff. If it's black, it's woke. Now, this actually proves to you I wanted to show this first because this actually proves to you guys when they talk about the whole woke thing, they're talking about black people first. They're talking about black people, and then women are okay, but why do I have to have that? But they're initially talking about black people first. All right, let me get to, hold on, because I swear to God, I can't stand this dude's face. Give me just a second. Let me transition over. But while I transition over, let's go ahead and let's taste more of the biscuits. Let's go.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. To put that honey sauce on me, I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right, so we're going to transition right quick, and I'm going to tell you the video that I'm about to show you is disturbing because I got to show this first. I got to show this next, or put this next. But I'm going to tell you that the language in here is disturbing for some people. All right, This is Nerdrotic. This is me reacted to the Nerdrotic, whatever this crap is. You know, this is utter trash. But I gotta show it. I got to show it.
Hello, fellow black people.
I guess maybe they're watching if Perry clips it out. But
you know what's crazy, because he starts this off saying hello, fellow black people, and the dude Epic Mike, he looked like he's black. He looked like he got a little mix in him, but he looked like he's black. But let's see if Epic Mike, which has a whole afro, all of this, let's see if he defends black people in this in this conversation. Not this dude put 1/4 black Garrett, 1/4 black Garrett. But listen to the conversation. It's all I want you to do. Listen to the conversation. I'm gonna stop it, start it, but this is not even just it, because I still got my reaction to the last one. So we're gonna be here for a while. Just to let you know. We're gonna be here. So get ready.
Hello.
Hi. How you doing? Thanks for watching. Black TikTok, what's up? I'm huge over Black TikTok. FNT, everybody loves it.
I love TikTok.
Okay, so this is what was brought to my attention. Shout out to Mika G. All right. I want to, before, you know what? I want to go to his thumbnail. Right? Oh, shut the hell up. The hell up with this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the thumbnail. My channel was under attack. Look at the thumbnail. For what I understand, and Mika G told me this, that this is the black dude from 28 Days Later. This is what they got. Instead of putting black TikTok, he used that and put TikTok under it. I just want to let that sink in. Let that sink in. That's what they think about you. All right? That's what they think about you. Let's get back to the trash. And this had 100. This has 164,000 views. And this is not even his main channel, I don't believe. But let's keep going.
Is over something we say on this channel. My favorite parts are like the dozens and dozens of people that say, I want to hit that white boy right in the fucking mouth, and a bunch of people just cheering him on. And it's like, man, I applaud people for fighting back against the stereotypes, you know?
Now, if you don't know what they're talking about, because I put this in my video about the whole MTR video. So I'm gonna just show you, because I think a lot of people was in their feelings about that video. It kind of missed this part when I talk about the whole woke stuff. Hold on, because I'm gonna make this. I can't stand that word. People know I cannot stand that. Let me just get to the part. Here we go. So this is what they're referencing, right? This is what they're referencing. Hold on, let me blow this up real quick. Nope. I already had it up. All right, this is what they're referencing. Saying this, that, and the other is. Again, this language is disturbing for some.
My stepdad.
Hold up. Because it's trying to get there. But anyway, this because we literally have white YouTube creators under the guise as comic book fans saying this, that, and the other is woke and is very anti-black.
Stepdad.
Black girl
Say
magic.
the best way to know a thing.
Listen.
My stepdad, because my real dad left
Take
me.
it apart.
Are they gonna play black music so I know there's a black person starring in it?
I don't know if this is a show about black people until I hear hip hop. Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know if I'm supposed to like it or not.
Yeah. You could tell when she said stepdad that it was going to be about black people. What would her Jarvis be called?
Jemima?
Jarvis. I heard it said Jarvis.
Jaquisha?
I think Jamichael works.
I'm going with Shanae.
I'm going to go with shit.
Wow.
Likely.
I think you mean Shithiad.
Joanna Man.
Joanna Man.
Joanna Iron Man.
Joanna Iron Man.
Joanna Father.
Now, these are the same bastards that now we're about to play victim. I can't believe they're saying this, that, and the other, and yada, yada, yada. You know, my channel was under the attack by Black YouTube when literally your thumbnail, you know, basically tells us exactly what you think about us. So the jokes, they say this. Now, my channel's under the attack. Doesn't that sound a little Karen-ish? Doesn't it sound like, now you're attacked. Oh, thank you for going with the stereotypes. They said it was going to hit me. Some of y'all need to be hitting your mouth. Some of y'all need to get tuned up. I'm very not against, you know, but I don't mind tuning somebody up.
That is the top comment on the TYT fucking video.
How dare they say we're all about violence? I'm gonna fuck them up for saying that.
If I see you in the street, I'm coming for you. I can't
show about a superhero. I'm gonna beat your face.
No, we got one this morning. Is like, I'm gonna send some black people to impregnate your daughters. And I'm like, I don't have any daughters, so I'm not worried about it.
But we're gonna make them trans too.
Yeah. But again, way to like stay away from those stereotypes. So,
very level-headed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's cultural. It's not a stereotype. It's cultural.
I just want to.
It's not a stereotype. It's cultural. So they believe all black people talk like this.
Point out, we are not the ones that decided to make a show about a character that's failed over and over and over again that people despise. We are not the ones that decided to basically make the entire crime squad minorities. Marvel decided to do that. They are the ones that decided to do it. They're the ones that decided.
So you know what's so funny is that, you know, because somebody just came in, come on, Ironheart is robbing people. Wasn't Hawkeye a criminal and out here murdering people? Wasn't there huge destruction in Man of Steel with a white character fighting another white character and destroying buildings with people in it? Wasn't saving nobody. He was too busy fighting Zod to say, you know what, I might want to take this somewhere else and not destroy Metropolis. Nobody never called him a murderer, which technically, because you're too busy fighting, you're not saving nobody. Technically, you're out here killing people. Right? They act like, and I wanted to tell Chill this. I'm like, dude, he was like, well, she joined the gang. You act like she went and joined, you know, Train Mafia or something, or the Pyrus. Dog, it was literally cyber crimes. But you know what? How they put it on Riri? How they just put it on Riri? And instead of having what we call when you're writing and you're developing a character, having character development, because a character has to go through so many things, she made a deal with the devil. How dare a black character do that? But Peter Parker did it. Literally had a whole comic about him making a deal with Mephisto so he could bring back Aunt May. You know who else made a deal with Mephisto? Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Thor. The list goes on. Cyclops, Jean Grey. Like, the arguments. This is when I could tell these guys never even read a comic. I guarantee you the reading portion does not include comic books. But when you read comic books, there are characters that have to go through certain things to learn from. It is the way that it is in comic books. If everybody is just a hero or everything is hunky-dory, we're living in a world where I cannot relate to that character because it's just too hunky-dory. It doesn't even make perfectly good sense for an 18-year-old person, 19-year-old person not to fail. Everybody in here, if you're an adult, has been an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid that has done some dumb stuff just because you're not there mature-wise. You thought you know it all, and you didn't. You don't know it all. But then you look at a character like, she should be smarter than that. She should be this. She should be that. There's plenty of people who are smart and do dumb shit every day. But you look at this character and the Discord really ain't got nothing to do, because if this was Ant-Man's daughter, who literally was tinkering with pim particles and the quantum physics and all of that, sent all of them into the quantum realm. Nobody said, well, how the hell did she know how to do that? Guess where she was at the beginning of the movie? In jail as a criminal. Let me stop.
Decided to write it this way, and we are reacting to what they've written, and it's laughable, quite frankly. But here we are, and of course, all the same articles that get rehashed from whenever the last thing that happened came out, where they say, well, people can't handle someone of color in a superhero movie. That's why there's review bombing. Man, I guess, I don't know about you guys, I missed the Telegram message telling all the racists to go review bomb Wakanda Forever or Black Panther. We missed that one. I don't know how that happened.
My favorite one was the doctor guy from TYT, whatever. And he says, yeah, black people we just can't get a break. And I'm like, can't get a break. So Disney hire you, one of the biggest, if not the biggest entertainment company out there. They give you $100 to $150 million. You got
we should be grateful that we're here conversation. Listen to it. This should be literally they paid you. You should be happy.
Your showrunners in place. You got your writers in place. You got your actors in place. You got everything that you can possibly imagine. So what you're really saying is, oh man, why can't we force people to like bullshit? Because that's what you're fucking saying.
Yeah.
The parallels with the opportunity. We didn't make.
Hey, Cash Kid, if you think it's garbage, good. Cool. That's okay.
This shit. We didn't
like
write
your race. It's not enough to just have representation. Like, it's got to be well written too. And they get upset when you're not happy with
this. Is the same fucking company.
No, you got to just take everything.
Yeah. Well, this is the same fucking company that can't make a fucking Blade movie.
Yes. Now, Epic Mike just heard this whole conversation and he laughed and giggled through the rest of it. Let's continue.
Right.
And you're gonna get mad at us for saying this show sucks, because it does. And they're like, well,
but it's not even a critique. See, if you're critiquing, if you just say there's always something that I always learn: shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Sign language. Shout out to the Godfather for that. When you just shame something without actual critiques, and what a critique is in this word is show, this doesn't make sense from here, and this doesn't add up to here because the character, in this previous scene did this, but now all of a sudden, she's doing that. That doesn't make any sense. But then when you don't know the nuance of people, we're not all the same, for one. And she wasn't in the hood, because what's funny is that they didn't address all the racist shit that they said about Ironheart. Now they trying to defend it like, oh, it's just bullshit. It's just crap. But they did. You literally just made fun on a trailer about her not having a daddy. Oh, she got a stepdad. I know that. I knew it was about black people. Now you try to change it to it's just trash. Come on, man, get the hell up out of here. Hold on, wait a minute. Cash Kid, dog, you're in the chat. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. If you don't like it, that's okay. I'm not here to make you like a show. That's individually your bag. If you don't like it, cool. I don't like Cool Whip. Is you gonna get mad at me because I don't like Cool Whip? Even though I do like Cool Whip, I'm just saying. Nobody cares if you like a show or not. We're talking about rhetoric that is spewed online based on a race, big dog. Get on code. Listen, if you're not, then dude, this is probably not the live stream for you. This is what I'm talking about. You're talking about a show, and I'm talking about how these dipshits is over there mad because I just proved to you just prior of how they talked about this person and be a racist. And all you talked about is how the show sucks. Well, I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. But do you care enough to say, you know what? These are the racist grifters that the Tyrone Madisons laugh and giggle and joke about. These are the racist grifters that Eric July was hanging with. These are the racist grifters that a lot of black people can't wait to get under their zaddies. How many black people is actually on this panel besides Epic Mike? And Epic Mike is fitting right along because, hey, look, as long as I get I can just get along. I could just get along. If I go along, get along, I'm cool. They ain't attacking me. It's making my product better. I don't care. How many of us is actually, just like I did for Jonathan Majors, how many of us is going to actually defend against this bullshit? Now this is feelings. Same logic. This is feelings. How many people was really going to say, man, damn this. We're tired of this kind of crap. This is the reason why I defended. The show is not the greatest show I ever watched. Never said Ironheart was like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing I ever seen. It's a 10 out of 10. It was perfect. No, it wasn't. There's a lot of things in the show that could have been done better. Choreographed with the fight scenes could have been better. There could have been a little bit more world building because where the damn is police at? So we got 2 police out the whole damn show. They fighting in front of a White Castle and not 1 cop. And I've been in Chicago. And damn it, there's way more cops than them 2 up there. You know what I mean? And then you do get frustrated with the character that keep making decisions. But then when you start looking at the psyche and understanding of the character, I'm like, oh, this is actually a lot better because it's not just about being a hero. What is inside of you that triggers you to do something greater? And when you do something greater and you think you're doing it for the greater good, you might be causing more harm than you are, than you think you are. Tony Stark went through that, but we're not giving grace to Riri Williams. And these jackasses really not going to give grace to Riri Williams just because she's black. Let me keep going.
Well, they just can't stand seeing a black woman succeed. She doesn't succeed at anything. She literally tells the people that try to help her,
money.
Go fuck yourself. I need to be iconic. Now I'm going to go run out in the streets and start committing crimes.
Well, that's a bullshit part about that because they act like she was out here robbing corner stores. You know what I mean? Like she was like she was out here like, I need money, so give me your money. Like she was out here with a little 22. Give me your money. I need it. Come on, dog.
Yeah, what's so funny about all this is that back in 2020, we had all these articles after George Floyd talking about positive black representation in entertainment. So here we have a show that's basically written by black people. We have Ryan Coogler endorsing, producer, whatever.
This is where me and Chill got to have a conversation about this. Because when we talk about positive representation, for one, she wasn't in the hood. That is a suburb of Chicago. Trust me. She wasn't at Cabrini Greens. She wasn't in the deep part of the south side of Chicago. So let's just get that out the way. Number one. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, she's a smart, intelligent sister that went to MIT. You see all the white people that look like this on that panel? They were paying her to do their homework. So she had a little hustle. Okay, they established that as a character, trait in Wakanda Forever. It just so happened to carry over, and she got in trouble for it because she thinks, and which is true, because Tony Stark has resources, right? Because Tony Stark has resources, he can easily build whatever he wants. And let's be honest, would Batman be Batman if he was broke? Let me ask that question again. Would Batman be Batman if he was broke? Do you think he's going to have a Batarang and all of that? No. Would Tony Stark be Tony Stark if he was broke? If Tony Stark was working at the local grocery store, would Tony Stark have enough money to build suits? No matter how smart you are, you still need resources. So she's thinking blindly. That's character. That's the character going through the motions of character development. Batman wouldn't be Batman if Batman wasn't a billionaire and came from rich white money. Let's keep it real, man. Stop it. Stop playing with me. Y'all playing with me today in this chat.
And what is it filled with? A bunch of negative stereotypes. It's like, and people are applauding it, and we're being called racist for pointing this out.
It's not.
It's like, I thought you wanted positive representation. That's not what you're getting.
And the cycle just goes over and over again.
You know, they talking about this, but they act like that she was on here like an episode of Power. Like this was BMF. Then stop it. Stop it. You guys are racist. You know you're racist. You threw the black dude in here because he don't care. He's part of get along gang. As long as they ain't talking about me, I'm cool. Get up out of here.
Brian brought up, like, we went through this with fucking Blue Beetle and She-Hulk with misogyny. It just gets tired. It's you are writing this shit, not us.
Yeah. Where were all where was the review bombing for Sinners, which just came out? There wasn't, because people overwhelmingly liked it.
You couldn't review bomb it because you didn't know what the hell it was. When it comes to Marvel and Marvel products, especially this one, y'all had a problem with it. Y'all just didn't think Sinners was going to do what it did. Let's just keep it a buck. You guys didn't know it was going to do what it did. Black Panther was in a totally, they talk about Black Panther like, for one, 2016, wasn't nobody talking, was anybody saying the word woke in the way that these racists, you know what I'm saying, saltines are talking about it? No. Wasn't nobody using that language. Nobody wasn't using that rhetoric. Matter of fact, this ragebait YouTube crap was not available when in 2016 when Captain America Civil War came out. When Black Panther came out in 2018, this type of rhetoric wasn't sitting up there mainstay on YouTube. And now these guys want to play victim after we just heard what the hell they were saying. Get up out of here.
Not everybody, but overwhelmingly people liked that movie. So shockingly, it didn't get review bombed. Well, it just happened for this one. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird how the shit always gets review bombed. That's weird.
Yeah, it's funny because it actually did get review bombed, but yet nobody is saying, you know what, it did get review bombed though. You see how they just, the shit gets review bombed, but it was review bombed, and we know it's review bomb. You see, this is the way that. And shout out to the Bird Man, how they massage their audience. Because if you don't know no better and you a goddamn dummy, you'll be looking at this one like, well, it was just trash anyway, so who cares? They didn't review. You know what? He's right. They did review bomb. You know what they review bomb before it came out? Little Mermaid. Guess what? It starred.
Yeah,
it's like write another story. We had Robin Hood, and as his whole meme about that was be gay, do crime. So what did they do in this? In the first episode, she's like, do you have a man in here? Do you have a woman? They were sure to let, like, you're a parent. Do you not know by this point? You still have to ask her every week to make sure she hasn't changed. And then she just immediately does crime. Like every single
She doesn't immediately. Oh my God, this is so whack.
Stereotype is hit in this show. Like if I wrote it, I'm pretty sure I'd be getting arrested for a hate crime.
It's sad to me because all the things all the elements that they put in this show that seem so obviously stereotypical, like the stealing.
I just really want them to tell me what black people. I want this panel of jackasses to tell me what they think about black people. Just be real with it. Just be real with it, because we could go into this. Into the matter of fact, let's just do this. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just see. Yep. Let's just look at, let me see. Is this the newest? Because this wasn't updated. So let me just share this. Because like I said, why they just think that we are just, this is just stereotype. A stereotype. When white people do crime, it's not called a stereotype. Even though white people create, white people literally, as far as charges, all of that, do more crime than black people. Do way more crime than black people. Way more crime. You know what I mean? Now, as us being a minority, the percentage of black people are going to be higher. But if we're looking at just the total of people, just saying. While burglary, the total is, and this was 2019. At that year, 118,843 people did burglary, right? Out of those people, 81,000 were white. Robbery, 25,000 to 29,000, basically even, right? Arson, 4,000. Violent crime, 209,000 compared to 129,000. Property crime, 517,000. Other assaults, 455,000. Forgery and counterfeiting, 21,000 people that are white. Fraud, 51,000. Embezzlement, 5,000. Stolen property, 38,000. Vandalism, 86,000. Weapon carrying possession, 60,000. Prostitution criminalized, 10,000. And then we get into all of this. Drug abuse violations, 748,000. Gambling, 1,000. Offense against children, 38,000. Driving under influence, DUI, 526,000. You see what I'm saying? Like, we literally can get into the weeds of this, but when you think about crime, this is the narrative that's been pushed because they think just black people just commit crime. No, white people do it too. But then when white people commit crimes, then it's all good. Then we cool. We Gucci, right? We Gucci, right? White man can start up a whole movie doing a crime. He becomes a hero. You know what I'm saying? It's okay though. But then a black girl who's get into some criminal mischief, this ain't really, even though it wasn't really anything for real to me, this ain't like she was robbing a liquor store. That's stereotype. She was robbing a liquor store. She was out here crip walking. Then you got me. When you talking about cyber crimes, man, and you trying to make it bigger than what it is now, dog. I'm not playing that. Not playing that game. Let me finish this up real quick, and then we're going to get to those super chats, and then we're going to get to our last thing, which is the high CH reaction. Then we're going to wrap this up.
And like the overly kind of hood conversation, it seems like those are elements that are put in because they think that will get a certain type of person to watch the show.
What the hell is overly hood? See, it was, man, first of all, Riri Williams, and I'm from the hood, Chrissy. Man, this girl is about as L7 as you can get. That's what makes this so funny, that she was trying to be a part of this heist when she's just as square as a cardboard box.
Oh, but it's just, it comes off like, no, you're just reinforcing all these stereotypes. Yes. And it's like, why don't you just, if you love your black character so much, give them a good, it's this.
But you think about this, Kevin, the character tried to kill her. The suit rescued her. She just didn't go back and get him. And he died. Did she murder him? Or did he die under his own accord? Think about it like that. I don't like she just killed. No, she didn't. She was choking after that man tried to kill her, and they dropped the oxygen in the room, and he said, "What is going on?" She was like, "They're dropping the oxygen levels, you dummy." And then she was like, "Natalie, come and get me." Natalie busts in, come get her, leave, dude, bam. That's it. He sat there and slid down the door. But wasn't he trying to murder her at first? People forget about that, though.
It's the stuff we've been saying all the time. Give them a good original script or just something that's, well.
You know it's bullshit? Because they did the same thing to Brave New World. They said Brave New World was shit, which is not the greatest movie, but Brave New World had literally the quintessential squeaky clean black dude who was so optimistic and all of that he talked a president down who was a hulking red Hulk, and they still said it was crap. So I don't want to hear that.
And not relying on stereotypes.
They don't like black characters. They like victim characters. They want victim characters. That's it. They don't want black characters. If they wanted black characters, they would be screaming for Wesley Snipes' Blade right now. They don't want that. They don't want good black characters. They don't want good female characters. They want good victim characters. Because the moment they get a good female character, they don't pay attention to it. And I believe in reparations, by the way. Wesley Snipes deserves all the reparations because that motherfucker should have never been put in prison. He should have absolutely he should have a pass for life because he was
the tax evade. You see what I mean? You gotta have I'm not racist. I like Wesley.
Passenger 57 and Blade and Simon Phoenix. So reparations for Wesley.
Shut up. Get this off my screen. This is garbage. Let's get to this one. Before we get to this, hold on. Before we get to this, I gotta take a quick break. And we'll be right back with more of the Dre Mag Show.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. Get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Hold on real quick. Torian, I see what you got. And give me just a second so I can put that up here. Reinforce the stereotypes. That mac and cheese does look gross. It's reinforcing stereotypes, and I don't like it. If they want black people, you need to be more like Wesley, who has some drug stuff going on, man. Hold up, I'm trying to. Hold on. Before I share my tab, oh, damn it. Hold on, because I'm trying to get my chat out of here. Hold on. I know what to do. Damn it. Hold on. Let me just save this image real quick. Is this dude's name? Hold up. Yo, show me the link because I just don't want everybody in my chat box. Hold on. I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. Let me send this to myself real quick. Hold on. Real quick, let me share my files. That's neurotic, y'all. That's neurotic. I just want everybody in my conversation with my man Torian, but keep the privacy. But Torian said he was arrested for selling drugs and got the nerves to talk about stereotypes. He was a drug addict, double felon as well, convicted of first-degree burglary. This is neurotic, y'all, right there. I'm just saying, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Swear, you cannot make this stuff up. All right, let me get back to. Let's get this dude off of here. Remove that. Add that. Let's get it to a criminal. You see, it's like, you see how they do? You see how they do? That's why I said all that butter biscuiting and all of that, all that shoe booty and all of that Negroes would do for a neurotic, and talking about, oh man, they showing all of this stereotypes when this man is a convicted felon himself. Just saying. Can't talk about stereotypes because white people are committing the most crimes in America. So is that a stereotype?
Having suffered through the first 3 episodes now, I can confidently say that this is by far the worst thing Marvel have ever produced in nearly 20 years of MCU history.
Not being undersold. After 3 episodes, this is by far the worst live-action Marvel ever made.
What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about probably the worst Marvel show in the history of Marvel.
I know about this character, so that's the reason why I'm going to talk about what people have an issue with when it comes to Ironheart and why she's not resonating with anybody.
Somebody's a lot of butter biscuiting. A lot of butter biscuiting, man. I'm trying to tell you, they can't wait to eat. Man, you know what I'm saying? They got their chicken fixing biscuit meal, man. Oh, I got to do that. Oh, man, I got to do that.
And this is an ongoing issue.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I do apologize because there was 2 super chats that I did not get to. Let me go ahead and get to those super chats. I'm going to say it one more time, language. I know this is maddening. You're 3 for 3. I'm so sorry, but I can't do it. I can't. These people piss me off, and I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say something because I'm out here.
Gang bang. You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat. Gang bang.
Sorry, Miss Roberta. I got to do it. What's even worse is these grifters have more subscribers than real critics. I know. That's sad. I'm eating pineapples. My bad, y'all. But I got this for you.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you so very much for the super chats. Let's keep going. All this BBA going on out here. Don't know how to say on code.
I would say, okay, let me just snatch the Band-Aid off.
Liberals, right?
What?
So we all know who this is, right? Like we all know what group of people create these type of characters in general. Narcissism.
Narcissist. Riri is an awful human being. She's selfish. She's obsessed with her own fame and legacy and selfish. She's obsessed with her own fame and legacy, and she cheats in school nonstop. She steals constantly. She blackmails.
They create narcissist characters and confuse it with strength. I don't know why they do that every single time. And they think that the more narcissistic you are, the more of an unredeemable bad person when it comes to your ego, the fact that you never get anything wrong.
I mean, literally. Did I not see Dr. Strange be an egotistical asshole at the beginning? I'm so sorry, Miss Roberta. You're going to have to whoop me. You have to whoop me today. But wasn't Dr. Strange an egotistical asshole until them hands got jacked up? He couldn't do his job no more? You know what I mean? Wasn't Tony Stark the same way? Wasn't Peter Parker so anxious or whatever to be a hero? He damn near killed a bunch of people on a boat. Where who came to save him? And he kept getting in his own way. Why can't people? I mean, it's funny how they picked her out. I mean, Jesus Lord, they talk about this the worst movie. Secret Invasion. Tried to explain how they got the DNA of superheroes during the battle against Thanos. And then use that DNA to create a monstrosity. A super scroll or what? Oh my God.
She did something. Everybody out.
The fact that you are constantly victimizing yourself the fact that you constantly have to belittle somebody else in order for you to be up.
Do you think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire? No shade. That's just the way the world works.
I don't know why
Like,
liberals
literally said no shade. That's the reason why it worked. Hey, he about to butter biscuit. Oh my God, he's about to. I mean, good. What's his brother's name? What is his brother's name? Because he is like, what is that? Jada what? Oh, he about to butter. Oh, he really about to get into his butter biscuit baton.
choose this character arc for their characters every fucking time, and they always seem to fail, and they never change course. Why do you do this? It's like they don't understand that narcissism is bad, or having an ego or having no flaws makes you uninteresting. I don't get why they do this.
What's going on, guys?
Just
We're back with
jeez.
another YouTube video. And well,
Boy, that grifting, boy, it must pay. Yo, I got a total of 77 people in the chat. Got a total of 77 people here. 56 on YouTube right now, 21 on X. Can we get the thumbs up? If y'all liking the content, even if you hate the content, thumb it down, thumbs up, do something. But can we get the thumbs, the ups and downs up in here? Please, 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 can we get the thumb ups out here? Just, this is boy. Just I'm just trying to see, is the honey really that fire to really be grifting this hard? To get your chicken fixin' biscuit meal, is it really that good? Because man, the grifting is, geez, Louise, the grifting is real.
well. The Ironheart show just ended, and I think it's pretty safe to say that this show was absolutely fucking peak. Even though I do have my issues with this show,
With
I would
everything.
say I think they did a pretty good job overall with show.
Yeah, I mean, not to cut them off, but the reason why I really liked it, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 because I like what they did with the character, because the character doesn't win. The character doesn't win. The character still has flaws. The character has enough time to grow. You know what I compared it to? And this is well, not the choreography. People who've been watching this channel for a long time know that my favorite comic book movie of all time is the 1990 TMNT movie, the first one. You know the reason why I like the movie is because that whole entire time, Splinter is trying to tell Raphael, chill out on your anger, chill out on your anger, chill out your anger, to the fact where Leonardo gets mad at him because he stormed off like, we don't need you. You always angry. Bye. Peace. Raphael gets his ass whooped, gets thrown down the shaft. You know, now his brother is concerned. They go and face Shredder. Guess who's angry now? Who compromised the whole entire thing of beating the Shredder? Leonardo, the one who was so in against Raphael in his anger. He's the one who got angry, went at the Shredder. It almost got murked by him if it wasn't for Splinter showing up. You know what that means? Character growth. Understanding that you're not perfect. Just because you are in a position that you think you're the leader, you can fall off and consume to your anger too. That is being humanistic. That is understanding that everybody has a fall, no matter how smart you are, no matter if you're a leader, no matter what, you can still fall. That's what storytelling is supposed to be about. This ain't the never-ending story where everything is all hunky-dory at the end. Everybody wins at the end. Sometimes you got to lose to understand winning.
Showcasing Riri's character, who she is, her motivations, especially certain deals that were made throughout the show. The promotion of the series had a pretty decent focus on the magical aspects being put into it, and ultimately, after seeing the last 3 episodes, I think going the techno-magical route with her character was definitely the best choice for her. Not only did they utilize these concepts to tie in with her character development, which we'll get to, it was also a great way to offer a refreshing and unique take on the Stark Tech stuff in general. We know that the most common complaint with a lot of the MCU properties is that a lot of the tech being displayed with the more recent adaptations lacked any real ingenuity. It all pretty much just became more of the same with the nanotech shit. So I can appreciate the fact that they listened to criticism and gave us practical suits along with magical upgrades to switch it up. and we actually got a final suit that wasn't fucking booty. Like,
That
let's
suit is-
fucking go.
That suit was dope, and he got tossed off the roof into the skylight. That's what happened to him, and he was out of commission for 20 minutes of the movie, and it's a 96-minute movie.
With that being said,
I know
it's
that
really
movie by
no
heart.
secret that a lot of people wanted the show to fail before it came out.
Exactly.
Making completely asinine criticisms that I debunked in this video if y'all want to check that out. But basically, the bulk of these criticisms was that Riri felt generic, derivative, that her being a genius somehow felt forced, and that no one likes her because she's a Mary Sue. Apparently, she doesn't have relatable flaws or experience consequences for her actions, which I am happy to say that this show completely destroyed all of these empty ass critiques out of the water. Because literally right out the gate in the first 10 minutes of the episode, it shows her having to deal with a life-changing consequence for her actions. When she's expelled out of her school for selling school projects to other students. So, you know, once these assholes realized they couldn't come at her for being a Mary Sue anymore, they had to switch it up and start finding other reasons to complain about.
Exactly.
In the first few minutes of the video, you saw one of the biggest gripes I had with some of these reviewers is that they kept trying to demonize Riri for being selfish and displaying egotistical tendencies at certain points of the show, which I don't understand. Why is this bad? It's called having a character flaw. Never at any point does the show state
Did I literally just say that? I literally just say that.
that she's supposed to be some sort of glamorous and humble individual. She's not even really a heroic figure yet, more so a great protagonist than anything else. Y'all are really trying to go down this selfish route. When Tony started out, he was pretty much the exact same way. And to be honest, to a way worse degree than Riri was. Especially in Iron Man 2, his friends had to constantly intervene and bail him out because he was...
And he's a grown-ass man. A grown-ass man. Riri is literally a young kid, still a kid. Were you 18, 19, 20 years old? You're still a kid. 21, you know what I mean? You're still a kid. And you know what I'm saying? You're an adult legally, but you're still a kid mentally because you don't know the world. And I know for myself that I didn't know everything. I swear I thought I knew everything. Went to college, thought I knew everything until I had to write a report on leadership development in my leadership development class. You know what I mean? And then I found out I don't really know everything that I thought I knew. You know what I mean? I had to be humbled in college. I had to be humbled in the workforce because I thought, hey, you know what? I'm one of the top sellers in my whole entire in the whole entire state. Can't nobody fire me, and they walk my black ass right out for nothing. Just true story. You know what I mean? So you can be humbled, and I like that. And you need that because Tony Stark literally had 2 movies where he was literally a dick. But again, white men can have flaws. Black people, we better be palatable. That's why I said to racist jackasses like that, we're not palatable. If this was Will Smith is palatable to these people. Wesley Snipes, palatable. You know what I'm saying? But Riri, who has some flaws and all of this, oh, look at her being stereotypical. Look at this. Da-da-da-da-da. And they not thinking about her PTSD and all this other stuff. It's so hood. Ain't none of them never touched a black neighborhood before in their life. Never. The closest thing Nerdrotic got to black people was when he went to jail. And I bet one was, let me shut up.
Was always doing some dumb shit. Not to mention other characters, like was Peter Parker not a little self-censored at first before he became Spider-Man?
Exactly.
To the point where it literally got his uncle killed.
That's
Exactly.
the canon of it.
So people complain when they think she doesn't have flaws, but when she is shown to have flaws, that's a problem too. So it's like you can't win with these people. So I'm going to go into the reasons why I love Riri's characterization in this personally. When we're introduced to Riri at MIT, we're immediately shown her motivations and why she's even trying to make suits of armor in the first place. She's making suits for similar reasons that Tony was, and that is to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Except this time, instead of just making suits for herself, she wants to create suits that revolutionize safety operations, which on the surface level you could say is a bit cliche, but once we learn why Riri wants to do this, that is the fact that she felt powerless when her father and best friend Natalie were killed in front of her in a drive-by. all of a sudden her devotion and extreme attachment to her suits of armor start to make a lot more sense.
Didn't Tony go through the same character arc that Riri did with compulsiveness and making more suits when he created Ultron? Because he had PTSD after he took that missile into space. Didn't we literally see this? It's not the same story, but literally, didn't we see this? Just saying.
You can really start to see this trauma manifest.
Hold on, wait a minute. And then Tony created Ultron. Ultron, went to Sokovia. They basically killed a bunch of people in Sokovia. Nobody called him a criminal or any of that.
Starts having panic attacks and meltdowns inside the suit whenever she feels like she doesn't have control over the situation. It's a really cool way to show why the Ironheart suit is so important to her. People were already getting mad off the jump that she said Tony Stark really wouldn't be where he is now without his money or resources.
You think Tony Stark would be Tony Stark if he wasn't a billionaire? No shade. That's just the way the world works.
Which I really don't see the issue with what she said.
It's no issue.
What she's saying is true.
It's very
Tony
true.
Stark would not be Iron Man without his financial resources. The
can,
only
man.
reason he was even able to make his suits in the first place was because he had the money and resources from Stark Industries.
Like that's just like saying, you know what? I just bought my car. I want to put, new rims on it. I want to put, a new exhaust on it. You know what I'm saying? Whipple supercharger. You know what I'm saying? So I get 850 horsepower out of my Coyote 5.0, right? If I ain't got Whipple supercharger money, I can't get to 850 horsepower, right? I need resources, right? I can't put that new exhaust on there. I can't put, new tires and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Have them staggered with brand new tires or whatever, so I can take it to the track. Why? Because I don't have the money. So don't I need some money? And saying go get a job. You know how much a Whipple supercharger costs? I'm gonna be saving my money all year, and they're building suits. And I'm over here just being selfish because I really kind of want a Whipple supercharger on my car. I think it'd be awesome.
Even his iconic Mark III, which is the baseline of his later suits, is estimated to have cost around tens of millions of dollars to produce. And this clip keeps being played by fans who don't understand this.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
But first off, it's
let's
important
look
to
at
note
that
that the scraps that Tony used to build the Mark I and the arc reactor in that
Was
cave
out of his missiles.
was recycled Stark Tech missile and weapon parts, which goes back to Stark Industries, which is the whole reason he was even in that situation to begin with. He was a big financial leader in the weapons field, not knowing that his weapons were being sold under the table to terrorists, including the ones that captured him. No money means no Stark Industries, which means he doesn't get captured, which of course means he doesn't become Iron Man.
Right.
So what Riri said is still correct. While his genius does play a crucial role in how he goes about situations, it's the billions of dollars he possessed that ultimately laid the foundation for his Iron Man journey.
It's literally, it's the same thing. Without the heart-shaped herb, you have no Black Panther. You know what I mean? Without the vibranium, you don't have the wealth to create this tech. Just saying, this is levels to this.
He would not be able to do what he's been doing without it. Which, yes, he created the Mark I without his billions of dollars. You want to know what the Mark I also did? Completely tore apart 15 seconds after he escaped that cave.
Exactly.
Without the money and resources to improve it, the suit would not have been usable long term. Even with the arc reactor that he designed in that cave, that wouldn't have lasted him that long without money or resources either. Because it was shown in Iron Man 2 that the palladium in the original core was killing him. This man literally had to create a whole new fucking nuclear element in Iron Man 2 to make a self-sustaining one, which he literally would not have been able to do without the money or resources that he had from Stark Industries. This alone.
This is the reason why I always brought up Ghostbusters 1984, because they literally told Ray to take out three mortgages out on his house so they can have the capital to even start Ghostbusters because they had no money. Like, come on, dog. Sometimes y'all are funny.
Shows that the Riri haters and the people grifting off that hate don't really understand Iron Man as a character.
Oh,
She's
no.
not saying that it's the money that defines Tony overall. She's saying that in order to achieve the full scale of what she wants to accomplish and that Tony was able to do, she needs money and resources to do that. I don't get why that's so hard for people to understand. It's also important to note here that even though she tries to use Tony Stark to make her point, she still gets called out for her mistakes by the principal and still gets expelled for violating the rules.
Exactly.
So off the gate, the whole point here is to establish a lesson here that Riri has to learn throughout the course of the show. That trying to take shortcuts through shady means, while it is understandable, the show makes it very clear that it was still wrong of her to do. Like her deciding to work with criminals to make fast money did help her in quite a bit of ways, especially when it came to improving her tech, but it also recklessly put herself and her family at risk.
Yes.
The show directly critiques her for doing this through the people around her, including her mom, Ezekiel when she ends up screwing him over, and even her Natalie AI. All the people around her are holding her accountable for making dumb decisions, which is something I like. The plot twist at the end where she decides to make the deal with Mephisto was really cool and I think completely fits her character. Now, it was insanely stupid because it's 100% going to bite her in the ass later.
Exactly.
But it makes sense, especially with the Natalie robot. It's shown that she never really got over her trauma with Natalie.
There you
and
go.
Mephisto, being a master manipulator, takes complete advantage of this.
I mean, he's literally the character that does this to everybody. Why are people picking on Riri, making a deal with Mephisto when that's his whole shtick with everybody? Black, white, indifferent, that's his shtick. Oh.
There's a weird complaint going around that because she's a genius, the idea that she makes decisions like this doesn't make any sense. But it does make sense. She's young and inexperienced and doesn't have a full grasp of how the world works. It's called a character arc. And even older characters like Tony made dumb decisions with disastrous consequences from time to time, like creating Ultron in Avengers 2.
Exactly.
When everyone around him told him not to.
Exactly.
Or how about when he revealed his whole fucking address on national TV and opened the door for the Mandarin to destroy his entire operation at his mansion. And not to mention Pepper and himself was almost fucking killed because of him doing that.
Just an
or
idiot.
when Peter and Ned in Spider-Man Homecoming hacked their suit without Tony's knowledge, took a nuclear alien core to Washington, D.C. and almost got all the students there killed in an elevator.
Nobody says anything about that because it's Spider-Man, man. It's Spider-Man. We've been around Spider-Man for so long. Spider-Man could do that. Oh my God, the arguments is just you can poke holes in every single argument with these grifters. You know what I mean? Like literally, the dumbest thing that Peter did was give the Edith glasses to Mysterio. Like, how dumb can you be? You know what happened? They called him out for that dumbass decision. And he wasn't even, Sam Jackson to actually do it. It was the Skrulls. What? Hey, let me shut up.
Yeah, being a genius doesn't stop you from being human. Humans in general make dumb decisions all the time, no matter what caliber of intelligence you're on. So this critique doesn't make sense. Y'all can't say that Riri doesn't have flaws, but when they intentionally showcase flaws in her decision making, you complain somehow that it's dumb and doesn't make sense.
Right.
She isn't going to make the right decisions all the time. That's how characters work. After all, if she did get everything exactly right, guess what? Y'all would be calling her Mary Sue.
Yeah.
It also makes sense with Ezekiel Staines' character and why I love him in this.
And y'all will say that, she was just handed everything. She didn't really learn no lessons. Y'all be complaining about that too.
From what I've seen in his character in like some of the comics and other adaptations, he's okay. He's a deranged mad scientist obsessed with being better than Stark. While here in Ironheart, when we initially see him, he doesn't want to have anything to do with Stark or his dad at all. The dude is just a clumsy average Joe who really just wants to live his life. While he starts off as an on and off ally of sorts, even, with Riri teaching him how to have a backbone, which is actually used against her later, it's ultimately Riri's actions that led to Stain becoming an antagonist in the show. Mm-hmm. The fact that she screwed up working with Parker and the criminals led to his life being screwed over because of her mistakes. And even then,
wait a minute, hold up.
Gentler side
hold up. Now, did y'all see that? Let me rewind it. For all the people who's like, oh my God, she killed a man. This is a scene where Natalie comes and gets her. That door is wide open.
And with Parker and the criminals led to his life being
Now, dude had enough time
screwed over because of her
to get out of that door. Right? He had enough time to get out that door. What happened? He's still there. John killed John. in the words of Vince McMahon, Brett screwed Brett. I didn't screw Brett. Brett screwed Brett.
mistakes. And even then, you could tell that the gentler side was still in there when he decided not to kill her on Parker's orders. And speaking of Parker, let's talk about him. His performance as the Hood was absolutely stellar in this. I had no clue who the fuck the Hood was going into this, but now I am definitely a fan. Parker Robbins in this is sort of a dark parallel to Riri in the sense. Like, he wants respect in the same way that she does, but he's willing to do much worse to get what he wants.
Exactly.
We learn that his desire for respect mainly comes from him being cast out by his dad, which kind of leads him down a path of revenge against him and people like him. So it's kind of like a distorted Robin Hood, where he's stealing from these people and sharing it with his family, pretending like it's for a noble cause.
I was like, this just remind me of a Robin Hood story that he's stealing from the rich and give it back to the poor. It kind of, for a certain reason, that's what they were kind of doing. But nobody gets mad about that. Nobody gets mad about Robin Hood. And Robin Hood is a criminal. Spider-Man is a criminal. He's a vigilante, which is criminal in the United States law.
Cause, when in reality he's really only benefiting himself, and due to his distorted perception of the world, he falls deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole to the point where he literally becomes a vampire monster in the final fight with Riri. It's a nice little allegory that revenge tends to lead people down a dark path that most of the time they can't come back from. So Parker's crew is an amazing addition to the plot of the season. Yeah, on some real shit though, outside of the heist, I did find the crew to be kind of lackluster, with the exception of Slug having a few moments at times. They were background characters that were really just there to serve a purpose and move the heist stuff forward more than anything else, but that's pretty much about it. I think the main issue with most of the crew is that they lack depth. Which they're background characters, so really this is me nitpicking, but with them working as a team and how much Parker puts focus on the family aspect that they had, I think it would have been cool to see their lives outside of the heist missions, or even before they met Parker, to characterize them a little bit more. Like, we do get snippets of information here and there, but it's really touch and go information that's kind of cheap and isn't really expanded on in the story at all. This is what I mean. I feel like the main squad could have used a lot more fleshing out. Another criticism I have with the show is that the dialogue sometimes feels way too bland and straight up unimaginative, to the point where certain scenes just feel dragged out at times. This was an issue I had with Captain America Brave New World, but it seems like recently Marvel 40% of the time just forgets how to write interesting dialogue. Like, I'm not even fucking with you. The scenes when Riri's interacting with the kid are a lot more entertaining than her conversations with most of the side characters. So it's like, I know they could put more.
Because that's why I said the two other characters, besides Clown and Slug, the fighter crew, they just sucked. Their dialogue was just not good, and it didn't give you anything to get interested in those characters. And so I was looking them to be cannon fodder. They could have been red shirts for all I care. If you know, you know.
More flair in their dialogue, they just don't for some reason. The dynamic between Riri and Natalie's brother was entertaining and heartwarming to watch. The chemistry and acting between them was great, and it seemed like they were setting him up as some sort of romantic interest for Riri. The thing is, by the end of the show, it just kind of felt wasted because it didn't really have any payoff. I'm surprised they didn't kiss with how much time they were focusing on their relationship. Hell, I wouldn't have even minded if they killed him off or hurt him in some way. It would have been another cool way to showcase someone being important to Riri getting caught up in her bad decision making. Anyways, the final point I want to make in this video is Mephisto. The casting and dialogue for him was amazing. Absolute gold.
Amazing.
Time heals all wounds.
And let me just dispel this before I let them go. Remember, all she knew was Dormammu. All she heard was Dormammu, because that's the conversation that her and Zelma had when they started thinking about the hood and, you know, the pieces of the hood. they in the comics, the hood does come from the dark dimension from Dormammu. So that's what she was mentioning. That's why she was mentioning Caecilius and Dormammu and telling you basically the plot of Doctor Strange, right? So when she meets Mephisto, she has no idea who the hell Mephisto is. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why this deal made more sense. She didn't know. She was, but you know, she should have been more aware, but she don't know what his capability is.
But that's bollocks. Pain. It never goes away. Festers. And it hardens. I can fix that.
Yeah, that nigga was fucking spooky, bro. But anyways, details like the spoon showing his true reflection was a nice touch, and his relationship with Parker and how he used him just to completely abandon him at the end completely encapsulates Mephisto as a character.
Exactly.
It seems to even be implied that he was the one controlling the Natalie AI from the jump, which put her on the path to meeting him in the first place. So yeah, that dude was making moves from the start.
Yes.
But yeah, other than that, there's not really much to say about him, but he had a pretty strong debut in this show, man. So overall, here are my concluding thoughts on the show. With the pros, I think Riri's characterization was well done. The practical suits, elements, and magical aspects were very entertaining to see. Ezekiel's characterization was great. The hood villain was outstanding, as Fisto's debut leaves me wanting more. However, Parker's crew was definitely underdeveloped and could have used a lot more fleshing out. Not to mention the dialogue in general at times just wasn't great and left a lot to be desired. There were also a few wasted elements in the show that would have been much more fun if they had been given some sort of payoff, which there might be a season 2, I don't know. But my point still stands. So at the end of the day, the show was pretty good. Though my personal rating for the show would sit somewhere in between a 7.5 and an 8 out of 10.
So
it's
basically
definitely
a
one
little,
of the better Marvel
where
shows to
I
come
was
out,
at.
and definitely proved a lot of the haters wrong and made Riri a lot
I was
more of an
8.5.
interesting character than what a lot of people thought they could do with her. I'm seeing on the internet that most YouTubers are still calling the show trash, but to be honest, it really just seems like most of it is bad faith, given that the show was judged preemptively before it even came out. Like I said, I do think it's a good show. Do I think it's a masterpiece? No.
Exactly.
And I definitely think there are valid critiques and criticisms to be had. But trying to crucify Riri for having character flaws isn't one of them. Riri isn't Tony. She isn't trying to be Tony, and that is fine. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video.
All
Let
right.
me know what you guys think. What are you?
All right. Appreciate the commentary, of course, from High CHD. Shout out to them. Shout out to him for another banger video. I'm surprised I'm not. Yeah, make sure. And make sure to like and subscribe to their channel. I'll put the link inside of the description of this video. But that's basically kind of where I was at with the show. There's a lot of good elements to the show and stuff like that. But basically, he came to basically the same conclusion I did. But now you've seen what Grifter has done. You see that they're echoing what the racists that's in the high places are saying, just on a smaller scale. That they really don't want us nowhere close to that stuff. Oh, he's up. What's up, High CHD? What's good? Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. It's the second time that I've or it's the second or third time I did a reaction video. So shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, let me put him back on there. Make sure, like, share, and subscribe to his channel. Right now, he's at 11.9 subscribers. Let's get him to 12. Let's get him to 12,000 subscribers. Let's do that. Let's run it up for him. But yeah, so, oh yeah, it's all good. Appreciate the commentary too. Just did a reaction to your commentary. So hopefully you checked it out. We came to the same conclusion. But these butter biscuit brothers that you had at the beginning, yeah, yeah, they should be dealt with. You know what I'm saying? We already know what the saltines gonna do, but these butter biscuit brothers and sisters, yeah, we got it. Yeah, I don't like that. But yeah, so appreciate High CHD coming in. You know what I'm saying? Checking it out. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. You know, Percent, thank you so very much. Blesses. It's just, I'm just tired of all these people call themselves woke and this and the other, and they just following the lines of these racists, man, and it's just ridiculous to me.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
All right, I've been on here long enough. We're talking about, we're going on 2 hours, and I actually worked, and now I'm about to relax. So thank you again to High CHD. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. The link to this this video will be in the description. Thank you so very much for everybody who came into the chat. We had up to 88 people in the chat. So again, we're constantly growing here at the Dre Mac Show. So make sure you're coming back in 7:30 in the morning on tomorrow. Hold on, wait a minute. Today's Wednesday. So Thursday, I'm going to go see Superman. I am going to give you a review out of the theater, and I'm coming home, and I'm giving you a non-spoiler review. So make sure you stand with that. I also got Death Battle Fridays coming on Thursday. I got something for y'all, but I appreciate it again, you guys coming in. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm gonna holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe power, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Where's my outro at? Look, I done hit my chin on the mic. I might need a new mic, and I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourselves.